Today, let us discuss about switch and router. Switch is nothing but a device which is used to connect multiple devices and create a network. Router is used to connect multiple switches and their networks to form a larger network, either LAN or WAN. Let us see the basic configuration of switch and router. In switch and router, most of the things are common. So there are three modes in both switch and router. One is user mode, privilege mode, and configuration mode. So these are three different modes in both router and switch. User mode defined with host name and a greater than symbol. For router, it is router greater than symbol. So here switch is host name. Here router is the host name. By default, host names are for switch it is switch and for router it is router. We can change this host name using a command host name. So the symbol denotes in which mode we are present currently. So greater than symbol indicates user mode. For privilege mode, it is switch hash. Router is router hash. So this indicates privilege. For configuration mode, switch config hash. So this indicates switch and router are in configuration modes. So these are the three modes which are used in our switches and routers. So in user mode, we are going to see only basic level of the privileges. Like we can only see some basic configurations. Can use enable command to go to privilege mode. And we can use ping command. Use some basic commands like this in user mode. In privilege mode, you can use commands like host name. You can use commands like debug, load. You can use config command to go to configuration mode. Some other basic commands only. In configuration mode, we can use IP address command, encapsulation. We can use shutdown command. These are all basic configurations of the switch and router. So IP address is used to set the IP address of a switch or router of an interface. So if you see in configuration mode, we have three types. One is config if. So it is nothing but used to configure interfaces. Other one is config router, used to configure protocols like OSPF, RIP, BGP, ARP, like this. And the last one is config line, used to configure line level, nothing but VTY, virtual teletype. These are used to remotely access our switch and router from the users. Other one is console. So it is used to access the console port of the switch and router. These three are the configurations you can use to configure different types of interfaces, router protocols, and lines. Here you can see it will be denoted as config if. Here it will be denoted as switch. Sorry, in switch there is no protocol. Here it's going to be switch config. So these are the basic configurations. So today we are going to see how to set the host name, enable command, how to set password to enable command. I mean, to enable command means to privilege mode. Set password to solve mode. How to set password to line VTY remote users. Okay, these are the security measures we are going to take in our switch and routers. So to enter the console, first we need to bypass this console port, or we need to authenticate ourselves in this console port. Then only we can go to user mode. Then you can use enable to go to privilege mode. That's why I am going to set a password to enable. Then for remote users using line VTY, we can set a password. To show you. Let me open my my Cisco packet tracer. Here I am going to take a router. So this is a basic router. Let me take a yes, this one. Here physical and go to CLI. You can see it is loading now. First it will ask whether to initial configuration dialog. This means if I say yes here, it's going to be asking in a dialog manner. What is a dialog mode? Dialog mode is nothing but first it will ask a question. I have to answer. Question, answer, question, answer. What is IP address? Then I have to set a IP address. It will ask what is default gateway. Then I have to give a default gateway. It will ask what is the interface. Then I will have to give a interface. So it's like a no commands are needed here. It's going to be a dialogues, which is not recommended. So I am going to say no. So it will go to my router. You can see here. Now it is greater than symbol. So it is in user mode. I'm going to type enable command. Now you can see it is in privilege mode. Let me increase. So this is my router in privilege mode. So let me type configure to config mode. So here you can see for host name, command is host name. And enter your name. Enable is a command user to user mode to privilege mode. Configure terminal. Use it for privilege mode to this shortcut is enable. For this shortcut is const T. For most of the commands, we have also shortcut commands. Okay, so for enable, you can just type enable en. For configuration terminal, you can just type conf T. So if you see this, en. Yep. You can see it is entered into privilege mode. conf T, nothing but configuration terminal. It enters into configuration mode. Okay. So if you want to enter into interface mode, you have to type interface FA0/0. You can see now it entered into configuration if mode. Okay. So to exit, just type exit. So if we want to go to line VTY, just type line VTY 022. This is number of 022 means 3 computers we are assigning remote as remote users. 012. Here, see now it is configuration line. You can just exit this. Now you can see line console 0. This means console port 0. And just exit. Okay. This is how we enter into 3 different configuration modes. Now here let us see how to change the host name. First one is host name. So here you can see my default name is router. In order to change this host name, I will just say a city name. Let's say Delhi. So it won't take. Why? Because we are in user mode. Here we can't change anything. We can only view. So in order to do that, I have to go to configuration. So I am going to first enable to privilege mode, then config. I am going to configuration mode, then host name Delhi. Now you can see my router name has changed to Delhi. Exit. Exit. So you can see it is now my router name is Delhi. So next one is enable. What is enable used for? Enable is used to enter the privilege mode. So if you go to privilege mode, you can directly go to configuration mode using config. So I don't want that. So first I want to set a password to enable. So go to enable config set password this tools. So enable password. Let us say 123. So now my password is set. Exit. Now if I want to go to enable, it goes to ask me my password. 123. I'm entering my password. Enter. So it has entered into privilege mode. If I enter wrong password, it's not going to enter. It will ask my password. Only if I enter my correct password, it's going to enter into in a user mode to privilege mode. So I have set a password to this. Set console port password. So what is meant by console mode password? You can see I am accessing this directly because I am in a simulation. But if I am in a real time, I need to take a PC. Then I need to connect it with the console. 232 to console port. And then I need to access router from this PC. Go to desktop, terminal, okay. So this is how we usually access our switch and routers in real time. Enable config So if I want to set a password to console port, first I need to go to console, right? Console 0. Here, set password. Password, say Cisco. For what? Login. Exit. Exit. So if I want to enter now, we'll first ask the password for user verification, which is nothing but Cisco. So now it has entered to my user mode. Then I want to enter to privilege mode, enable. Now again it is asking for enable password 123. So now I have entered into privilege mode. Then go to configuration mode. There is no password between privilege mode to configuration mode. There is only password between username, user mode to privilege mode, and for console and VTWise. So what is VTWise now? So now we have seen how to set password for privilege mode, for console port. Now in VTY users. So let's see. For 9 VTY users, I'm going to take 3 users. Three users. Connect them to connect them. Then connect this switch to router. So I'm going to configure this static configuration. 68.1.10, 68.1.1. Okay, first one has been done. Second PC, go to desktop, IP config 22.168.1.20, default gateway 1.1. Top IP config 92.168, default gateway 1.1. So these are all in same network. 1 dot network, 1.10, 1.20, 1.30. You can write it here. Dot 10, dot 20, which is 1.30. That's 21. All are in same network. I am going to, this is a interface, that's why 0/0 with 1.1. Now I have to get this router and the interface. So go to int 0/0, nothing but interface 0/0. Now I am in this interface. Assign IP address 192.168.1.1, 55.255.255.0, net mask, subnet mask. So IP address is assigned. Now go for no shutdown. No shutdown means the interface will not shut down in any point of time. Okay. So you can see it is in orange, it will turn into green soon. It means that we have established connection between the PC and router. You can see now it has turned into green, orange to green. Now if I go to PC, go to command prompt and ping router IP address 1.1, you will get a reply. In the same way, go to router, you can click on this one, ping 92.168.1.10. Yeah. You can see ping is success. Success rate is 100%. So ping is working. So now we have established a connection between these PCs and the router. Now go to router and give access to the PCs of this router using conf line VTY 0/2 0 2. That means first PC has 0, second PC has 1, third PC has 2. 3 PCs. Line VTY. Now we are going to assign password. Let us say CC only. Next, for what login? Exit. Now, if we go to PC command prompt and use a telnet command, telnet 192.168.1.1, it will ask for user verification, which is nothing but our password for line VTY. So CCNF. You can see now it entered into user mode. Enter enable password again, enable password 123, goes to privilege mode, conf t, goes to configuration mode. You can see here, you can go to interface mode also. So you can see we have now access from a user to PC, PC user to router directly. So this is a telnet. Okay. Here we have line VTY remote users, set a password to line VTY remote users. It is nothing but using for telnet. Telnet. We also have something called as SSH. We'll see in later videos. Okay. Now we are going to see, we have just seen how telnet works. We can also see SSH in later videos. So now we have seen how to change the host name, what is enabled, how to set a password to enable. So how to set a password to enable, it is enable password command. You can give your password here. How to set console password? Password, give password. Set line VTY, 0 to how many number of computers? 6 computers, 0 to 5. Then password. Here how we set. Okay. So now I have done my configurations. So in that, what I have used, additionally, I have set IP address. This is a command used to get view my IP and gateway. Use something called as no shutdown. So it is used to tell router Do not shut down this interface in any point of time. We have used to configure our router, IP, and interface. Okay. So now all my configurations are done. The communication has been established. You can see now I can communicate in routers. I can also ping other PCs which are in same network. Ping 1.20, ping 1.30. And has been established between the PCs and with router and switch. Okay. So what next? Should we just close it or should we save it? Here, let me tell you about memories in a switch and RAM. I mean switch and router. In switch and router, we have two types of memories. The one is NVRAM. So RAM is temporary memory. VRAM is non-volatile. Permanent memory. So in RAM, we have something called running file. VRAM, we have starting config file. Okay, so the running config file is a temporary file. It is a file which stores our current configurations. So, and starting configuration is a file which stores the configuration that has to be fixed permanently. And every time a switch is on, while booting, it takes from configurations from the starting config file. Okay, while booting, whenever our switch is on, while booting, it is going to take configurations which are saved in this configuration file. Start the router and switch. Whenever we change anything or we set any IP interface passwords, all those are going to saved here in running config file, which is stored in a temporary memory RAM. Okay, so once the switch is off and again on, the RAM is clear and all the configurations saved in this running config will be erased. And only the configurations saved in static config will be present. So what we have to do is, we have to copy this running configuration to the static configuration file every time we change anything in this switch or router using command copy running config starting config. So it is nothing but a command copy command source file target file. Here the source file is running config. Target file is starting config. If we exit the, if we off the switch or router without doing this command, all that configuration we have done will be saved in this running config will be erased. So for this, there is a shortcut called as WR. So whenever we have to save our configuration, we'll use this command or either this command. Okay, so let us save that. WR. So it's going to build configuration and copy all my running configurations into the starting configurations. You can now see show running config. You can see here, I'm going to see my running configurations. Here, see enable password has been saved here. 1, 2, 3. You can even see our IP interface IPs. See here, we have our interface IPs 1.1 Ethernet 0/0 FA. Now, see for console, we have given a password Cisco. For VTY, we have given password CCNA. Okay, so here you can see my passwords are in clear text and visible to everyone, which I don't like. So what can I do? For enable, we have a method called enable secret. We have seen a method, we have seen a command enable password before. So what is this enable password does? Passwords are in clear text. I mean, enable password is in clear text. Here, enable password is in encrypted. Is a method used for enable. So if I want to enable secret, let us say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I go to running config, you can see now I have enabled secret, which is in encrypted form, and enable password, which is 1, 2, 3. Now, if I go to enable, which password I should do? Enable password is 1, 2, 3. Enable secret is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So whenever we use enable secret, enable password will be overwritten. It will not work. You can see it is not working. Only enable secret password will work. 3, 4, 5. You see. So whenever we use enable secret, only that password will work. Enable password will not work. So running config. Show run means show running configuration. So now you can see secret password has been encrypted and our password is still showing here. Enable password is still showing in clear text only. See here, all our passwords are in clear text. Here you can see password Cisco, password CCNA. All our passwords are in only in clear text. But I want to encrypt all the passwords. So what I will use? I will use a command called password so So we have to start a service for this. Service password encryption. So this is the not password encryption. It is service, a service called as password encryption. I'm going to enter. Now let me save this and again see my running configuration. Now if you see enable password has been encrypted and you can see all the passwords are not in clear text and all the passwords has been encrypted here. Okay. So what I have used is service called password encryption. Okay. Encrypts all passwords. So these are the basic configurations. So what we have seen is how to change the host name using host name command. Use enable. So enable is used to user mode to privilege mode. How to set a password for this enable password, and we have something called as enable secret password enable secret. We have something called as console port. We assign a password to this console port and we can assign a password to our VTY users, remote users. It is using telnet and we have another method using SSH. We'll see later that. We'll see, we have seen how to assign a IP address to an interface. Okay. We have seen how memories and what are the files present. So you can see here, show starting config file also. All our running configuration has been also saved to our starting configuration file. You can see IP address has been saved. You can see line console and line VTY passwords have been saved. So even if I switch off my router and switch on again, it will going to take these all configurations from the starting config file. If we not save this using WR or copy command, this is going to be erased. Okay, so we have seen how to use this WR copy command. What are the RAM and NVRAMs? We have seen how to encrypt all the clear text passwords using service password encryption. So that's all for today. Okay. Bye, friends.